Hi, it's Michael Whitney from Just Say Now. I want to tell you about what Just Say Now is doing to get out the vote for marijuana reforms on Election Day, November 2nd. We're just 3 weeks away from Election Day, but already many states have started voting. We're embarking on a huge effort to contact tens of thousands of voters to make sure they're aware of the initiatives, they know how to vote, and to make sure they actually turn out. Each race is really close, so turnout's going to be everything. We're aiming to raise $40,000 over the next week to fund our efforts to contact tens of thousands of voters to make sure we can pass these initiatives on November 2nd. Here's what we're doing in each state. In California, voters will decide on Proposition 19, which would legalize, regulate, and tax marijuana. Now, Prop 19 is up in the polls, but it's going to be a really close election, and we need to make sure that turnout can match what we need to do in order for it to pass. To do that, we need to contact young voters who are not already voting and make sure they turn out. 94.4% of young voters are aware of Prop 19 and 60% support it. What we need to do is get them to the polls and make sure they vote. Just Say Now is working with the Yes on 19 campaign to call voters in 3 of the top 6 counties in California: Stanislaus County, Ventura County, and Sonoma County. We plan on calling voters in those areas to inform them about Prop 19 and make sure that they vote. We're also soliciting vote pledges and registering voters before next week's deadline. Our goal is to contact 50,000 voters in the state by Election Day. It's a big effort, but with your help, we can pull it off and make sure that Prop 19 passes. We're also working in Oregon, which on November 2nd will vote on Measure 74. It would bring medical marijuana dispensaries to patients in the state. Oregon already has medical marijuana, but by allowing dispensaries, patients would have better, more immediate, and safe access to the medicine that they need. We're working with the Yes on 74 campaign to contact thousands of voters with phone calls. We're also redesigning their website, optimizing it for search so that voters can find information, and organizing their supporters online so they can get the resources, volunteers, and support they need to pass Measure 74. In South Dakota, voters there are going to decide on medical marijuana. Now, South Dakota isn't the first state you'd think of when you think of medical marijuana, but voters will decide for the second time to allow medical marijuana. Now, it failed in 2006 by just 15,000 votes, or 4%. It's really close again this time, and your dollars will have an inordinate impact in the state because of how few voters are required to pass this. Now, South Dakota's campaign only has one person on it, so Just Say Now is bringing our resources to make sure that South Dakota's website is redesigned and accessible for information that can help voters decide on Measure 13. We're also organizing their supporters online, helping them organize volunteers, collect money online to support their campaign, and we're also calling thousands of voters in the state to inform them about Measure 13. The final state where we're working is Arizona. Voters in that state are going to decide on Proposition 203, which would also bring medical marijuana to the state. Now, Prop 203 is up in the polls, but they need all the support they can get to contact voters with our online phone banking tool to make sure that voters have the information they need in order to vote. We also already registered hundreds of voters and are going to get those voters to commit to pledging for Proposition 203 so they can turn out on Election Day. Now, voting has begun in each of these states already, so we're down to the wire with just 3 weeks left until the polls close, so we need all the help we can get. Please go to justsaynow.com to donate today and help fund our Get Out the Vote efforts in each of these states so we can pass these marijuana reforms and help end the war on marijuana. Thanks for your support.